Hello, friends. Good to see you here this morning. Let's sing an old favorite, and let's do it in a new way. Let's rise in body and our spirit and sing hymn number 311, Let It Be a Dance. Let's let it be a dance, shall we?
Well, there's nothing like dancing before we start with our service. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the Olympia Unitarian Universalist Congregation. My name is Ann Radford. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a member of the worship arts team. Leading worship with me this morning is our minister, Reverend Mary Gear, and Troy Fisher, our music director. Vanessa Nagel is not able to be with us this morning. Together, we envision an interconnected world that is loving, just, and healthy. We commit to live out our mission to welcome and wonder, embrace and empower, bridge and become. We are a community of many genders, a colorful array of racial identities, numerous economic levels, a variety of sexual identities, united as one people. We are a faith community that believes diversity is sacred and that we are enriched by the gifts we each bring. We affirm that we are all growing and becoming, and that we are blessed to learn from each other. Thank you for your presence here. We're so glad you're here. Here are a few things to know about our service today. We are streaming live on Zoom and YouTube, and the service is being recorded. For those here in the sanctuary, you can see the subtitles up here on the screen, such as they are, and on Zoom, for those of you on Zoom, you also have subtitles. We are a multi-generational community that welcomes people of all ages in the sanctuary during the service. Over here, we have soft chairs and activities, and there's nursery care and story time down the hall in the classroom wing. So families, please be where you are most comfortable. We're grateful for the many, many hands that have helped worship happen this morning. Thank you to all who contribute in so many ways. After the service, everyone will have a chance to discuss reflection questions offered by Reverend Maree. For those online, we invite you to go into a breakout room for a virtual coffee chat. For those in person, please feel free to stay for coffee and conversation in the Commons. At 12:15 today, please join us here in the sanctuary or back in the main Zoom room for a forum on self-care and community care with Reverend Sara. Lidded cups are now welcome in the sanctuary. So grab a cup with a lid and bring it in to the forum if you need one. The new to OUUC class continues on Zoom today from 2 to 3:30. Reverend Maree will be joined by congregants to discuss membership at OUUC. Everyone is welcome. You can find the link on our website or contact the OUUC office. Well, it's March already, and that means daylight savings time. So, we spring forward next Sunday, March 8th, so we will have our annual Pajama Sunday. Because we lose an hour, please feel free to come to the service in your PJs, whether you are here or at home. We hope you'll join the fun. There are many things happening here at OUUC, so check out the Tuesday electronic update or the website for the most up-to-date information. As we enter into this time of worship, we invite you to open your heart and mind to the possibility of transformation. It is good to be together. This morning, we join Unitarian Universalist congregations around the world in lighting a chalice, the symbol of our faith tradition. We light the chalice this morning with the words of Elena Westbrook. In a world ravaged by violence, by hatred, by conflicts that seem eternal and insoluble, sometimes the only thing we can do is be still for a moment, to remind ourselves what is real. The sun that rose this morning, the dirt under our feet, the air whispering in and out of our lungs. This hour, try just to be present in each moment as it unfolds. Your simple attention is what makes these moments holy.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Reverend Maree. I use she, her pronouns. Our opening words this morning are offered by Samantha Lynn Wilson. A call to worship is secretly a call to focus our attention. and choosing to focus our attention is countercultural. Daily, we are called to worship at the altar of many devices. Surveillance systems that we let take the lead of our every waking moment. We are called by headlines set purely on our activation and by tools that gamify our every human connection. We are not called, we are led. We are not led, we are entrapped. Instead, here we practice being called. We are called to bring our attention to the altar of unpredictable human relatedness. We are called by these ancestors, this wood, this room's particular light, this chalice's particular fire, and these children. We are called to focus all our attention on a foolhardy and open-hearted commitment to share a future together that we cannot cancel or control. In the words of the poet farmer Wendell Berry, we are called here to do something today that does not compute. Spirit of life, call our collective attention to this precise moment, the threshold between then and now, the moment upon which we hang our honest promises like portraits chiseled and framed by our own hands, imperfectly and together. Come, let us worship together.
I invite you to rise in body and our spirit, and let's sing together again. Hymn number 128 out of the gray hymnal, For All That Is Our Life. If you're joining us online, there is a link to a lyric sheet that will have all the lyrics for you.
I'm going to give you a little stewardship update. We are off to a great start for the 2026-27 Stewardship Drive. This is a time we make our financial pledges to support this community for the fiscal year starting in July. It takes all of us to support the staff, the programs, the building, and the grounds here at OUUC. As of the end of our second week, we have received 70 pledges for a total of $161.41. 45% of our goal of $726,479. And even more impressive, over 65% of us have increased our pledges from last year. Yeah. Thank you to all who have pledged. Stewardship members will be in the Commons after both services to answer questions and collect pledges. Pledge cards are available in the Commons, and if you have a sweet tooth, you might get a chocolate heart, too. The stewardship team thanks you in advance for your thoughtful consideration and participation in this year's pledge drive. May our love for this community drive our desire to support it to its fullest potential. Over the next few weeks, members of our OUC community will share a brief testimonial about what they have found here and valued. Today's speaker is Rebecca Jewell.
I've always had this complicated relationship with organized religion. Like, growing up, I'd watch my friends find identity, community, even the sense of destiny in their churches. And I'd envy that sometimes. But I also saw the harm, dogma, authority, and I learned early how lonely it feels when faith is used to draw a circle that leaves you out. Here's one example. I was the only one of 10 grandchildren not baptized in the LDS church. And even as a kid, I understood. My family saw their relationships with each other as eternal. Their relationship with me was conditional. And that exclusion left a mark. So when my very large and very earnest husband, John, suggested we look for a church, it felt like the start of a joke. 2 atheists walk into a bar that only serves communion wine. But he was serious. He missed the community of his happy Lutheran childhood, and I wanted to support him, but I was scared. What if we walked into judgment or dogma, or someone telling me how to dress or vote or be? John went to OUC alone for the first 2 weeks. He came home talking about the nice hippies down the road, the little stones and the little cup of water, and how the sex ed flyers in the foyer. He made it sound very low stakes, as if no one was lurking to recruit me into a committee. On the 3rd week, I went with him. Our first service together was about joy. A woman with a shaved head danced in the aisle. Congregants sang loudly, vibrantly, and gloriously off-key. And I remember thinking, oh, I found some of my favorite weirdos. It still took me 2 more months to work up the courage to apply for a printed name tag. I haven't taken the classes. I won't put my name in the book. Technically, I'm still hovering at the threshold. Outside of bylaws, though, belonging didn't wait for certainty. It began the moment I carried something in, specifically a blackberry ginger pie. No one here is asking me to be exactly the same as them. They're just asking me to help keep the lights on and the tummies full. Contribution can take 1,000 different forms, from joining the welcome committee, to serving on the board, to serving snacks. But most contributions can be categorized as requiring time, treasure, or talent. Right now, I'm short on time. My calendar is full, my energy is finite, but I can offer a little treasure in the form of a monthly pledge, and I can share a little creative talent in the form of a monthly cake. Because the difference between being a guest and creating a home isn't about blood. It's about building together. And in a community that makes room for uncertainty, authenticity, and off-key singing, that feels like enough to begin. It's what the Indigo Girls have been teaching me all along. The less I seek my source from some definitive, the closer I am to fine.
Each Sunday, we engage in the spiritual practices of generosity and gratitude by joining together in service to our community and to something greater than ourselves. This is an opportunity to express our gratitude for the gifts life has given us, for the network of relationships in which we live, and for the presence of this community. We each have the power to share, and when we combine our gifts to create an offering, together we are able to do so much more. If you are new or visiting us for the first or second time, you are our guest, and we do not expect you to contribute. However, if you are moved to be part of our offering, what you share is accepted with gratitude. The offering collected here does two things. Half helps support the ongoing work of this congregation, which is also supported by your regular pledges. The other half of our offering goes to charity. Most is shared with an organization that serves our community in harmony with our Unitarian Universalist values, and a small portion goes to the OUUC Ministers Benevolent Fund to support the more urgent needs in our community. Our Share the Plate organization for March and April is POWER, Parents Organizing for Welfare and Economic Rights. This is what they share about their work.
Hello, OUUC. My name is Mary Vent, and I am the community organizer at POWER.
My name is Kivette Palmas, and I'm a board member at POWER. Our membership is largely made up of low-income parents who are solo parenting with little support. We strive to change systems that harm people and to mitigate the sometimes daily trauma of poverty that our members live with. We mitigate that trauma by keeping a communal space where people can gather, learn, build skills, and build community. All of our programs are designed to include low-income families who usually are left out of community organizing. So we always have childcare and food on site so that low-income parents can participate and lead. In this paradigm that we live by, low-income parents, mostly moms, are leaders growing in knowledge, skills, and confidence. And they carry that knowledge, skills, and confidence with them into the community and the legislator.
Here's some ways to get involved with POWER. You can follow us on Facebook, where we are listed under our full name, which is Parents Organizing for Welfare and Economic Rights. Follow us, please, and share our events and posts. You can follow us on Instagram, where we are under our name. There is Olympia Mama Power. Or come to our events. We have 2 Sock Monkey workshops coming up. One is on March 17th, and the one in April is April 14th. And also in April, we have Arts Walk, which is the 24th and 25th, and we could really use volunteers for that event. And speaking of volunteering, we are very versatile in our volunteer recruitment, as in you can tell us what you are interested in or what you know how to do, and then we can find a volunteer position for you. It could be database work, grant writing, childcare, legislative advocacy and literacy, outreach and advocacy, event setup, and more. So to volunteer, you can contact me, Mary, the community organizer of POWER, at 352-9716. Thank you for your support.
We offer our thanks to all who give, including those who give to the offering electronically. And you can find out about that in the order of service or on the OUUC website. May the offering now be generously given as it is gratefully received.
Thank you so much for your generosity in all the ways you share your gifts. This morning, we gather as humans have done for all of our existence, in times of worry and fear, and in times of celebration and joy. We come into this community bringing all that's on our minds and in our hearts, and so let's open our hearts to the complexity of life as we place stones in the water of community. We will hear a drumbeat. I invite you to allow its resonance into your body. It's the heartbeat of life, the heartbeat of our community. Let's take a deep breath together. In and out, feel the air as it enters and leaves your body, nourishing your cells. Feel the earth solid beneath us. Feel the warmth of connection. Many of us are sorrowful this morning as we find that our country is once again at war. Starting another war in the Middle East, a war that we begin. And we experience another threat to our government of checks and balances. May we open our hearts to those who have been killed and injured in the war so far. May we open our hearts to those who serve in the military, in the US, in Israel, in Iran, and every other country that is feeling a threat right now. Those who serve are not the ones who decide. May we open our hearts to a vision of peace and self-rule for the people of Iran. And may we hold on to a vision of peace for the world and for all people. Closer to home, Barbara Young asks for our prayers on her journey to the land of the Maya, where she will be for the next 2 weeks researching her historical fiction novel. Barbara, we wish you a safe journey and may it be fruitful. Let's open our circle wide now by inviting those joining us on Zoom to share from your heart by entering in the chat. Those of us in the sanctuary will be able to see your sharing on the screen, and it's shared with me and the pastoral care team. For those on site today, I invite you to come forward if there's something you'd like to bring into community. You may place a stone in the water as you hold your sharing in your heart. Let's hear the heartbeat of our community as we reach out our hearts in love and care to all who share today. We'll place a stone in the water for all that has been shared online, shared from the heart. And one more stone placed in the water for all that we hold in our hearts and that remains unspoken. We hold together all that has been shared. May you feel yourself witnessed. May you know that you are loved. I invite you to settle in wherever you are, sitting, standing, laying down, walking. We'll do a body scan meditation together. If you're comfortable, you might close your eyes or soften your gaze. Settle into your body, into this moment. I invite you to focus your attention on the parts of your body that are closest to the earth. As you feel that connection with the earth, I invite you to scan your attention slowly upward to the center of your body. This is where air becomes breath, where what is not you becomes you, where the line between blurs in a flowing without ceasing. When you come to a point of focused attention on your breath, the center of your body, I invite you to scan your attention slowly upward to focus your attention on the top of your body, where feeling becomes thought and thought becomes action, where action begins to change the world. In this moment of quiet, connected to our bodies, notice how we are connected to the world around us and to each other. May we remember that connection with every breath. Let's hold silence together.
invite you to remain seated and let's sing together, Be Still and Breathe.
Today's first reading is entitled A Prayer for Salvation by Peregrine Morkel Williams, a seminary student living in Twin Cities, Minnesota. Here I am, God, here I am. Here I am with the dishes in the sink and the dust on the shelves, the skin on my hands, which is drying out and starting to crack. My appetite is gone, without any other bodies to remind my body of itself. I can pray for salvation, but my bones know that this is all there is. This is the day God has given us to live in. There is no heaven, child, no heaven apart from the dishes and the dust and the skin on your hands. If you want heaven, this is what you have to work with. You who are a child of the Creator, God has given you all she can. Pay attention.
Part 1, Attention as a Doorway. In late December 1968, astronauts Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, and Bill Anders became the first humans to leave the Earth's gravitational pull and journey to another world. Their mission was to go around the moon and back, and amazingly, they did. Apollo 8 spent 20 hours orbiting the moon, circling it 10 times before returning to the Earth, making it the first time that humans had ever seen the dark side of the moon, the side that never faces the Earth. On Christmas Eve, during one of those orbits around the moon, astronaut Bill Anders was recorded as saying, "Oh my God, look at that picture over there. There's the Earth coming up. Wow, that's pretty." Anders took photos of the Earth rising above the horizon of the moon, the most famous of which is entitled Earthrise. This iconic photo was on the cover of the Whole Earth catalog in 1969 and was on a postage stamp that same year. It was the first time an image of the Earth was captured from space, and it kick-started a movement. Many reacted with awe and gratitude at the beauty of our planet and the miracle that we even exist. Human life, any life, on this small blue planet in the middle of a vast black universe. That photo showed how remarkable and how fragile our Earth is. In an interview later in his life, Apollo commander Frank Borman said, "It was the beginning of the realization that we need to take care of it." The environmental movement was invigorated by that photo, leading to an explosion of actions to protect our fragile Earth. In 1970, the Environmental Protection Agency was formed, the first Earth Day was celebrated, and the Clean Air Act was passed. By 1974, we had the Clean Water Act, the Endangered Species Act, and the Safe Drinking Water Act. This laid the foundation for decades of actions to protect our home and a growing awareness of our human impact on the Earth's climate, resulting in actions that we now call environmental justice. Historic actions that are being eroded and dismantled by our current government. Our monthly spiritual theme is paying attention. It invites us to open our minds and our hearts to the gifts of life, and the gift of life, our existence, life itself. Poet Mary Oliver wrote, "Attention is the beginning of devotion." When we pay attention, we may not feel only awe and gratitude, but we might also fall in love. And when we pay attention, we see not only the beauty and the gifts, but we also see harm and pain. We see the ways that life is not surviving, let alone thriving. And when Rachel Carson published Silent Spring in 1962, documenting the dangers of pesticides and water pollution, that gave fuel to the beautiful photo of our Earth from space to ignite an environmental movement. The pain and the sorrow and the beauty and the gratitude, all of it in our collective awareness. We want to protect what we love, wanting who and what we love to not just survive, but to thrive, to grow, to flourish. We want to savor the delight of beauty and awe and wonder, not just for ourselves, but for each other and for all life. As Frank Borman said, we feel we must take care of what we love. So with attention comes commitment. Paying attention is a doorway to awe and gratitude. We open ourselves to reverence. It is also a doorway to pain and grief. The danger of paying attention is that we open ourselves to heartbreak. Paying attention is the spiritual practice of being with what is, dirty dishes and dust and dry skin, and loving it all, wanting to protect it all. Paying attention is seeing the pain and being moved to do whatever we can to protect that which we love. Paying attention is the call to be open to all that is, falling in love again with what is right in front of us, the beauty and the pain. Being able to pay attention to both what is and what is not yet is a skill that is developed in faith communities. Professor and scholar Liz Buchar is the author of a blog called Religion Reimagined. She recently wrote about an interview between talk show host and comedian Trevor Noah and the new mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani. In this interview, they discuss the lack of trust that people have in political figures and in our political process. Mamdani noted that during his campaign, he found trusting people in faith communities. People of faith still have trust. And that caused Trevor Noah to respond, "One of the things that faith requires of you is the ability to believe that the current state that you are in is not the end. There is a possibility that something can be greater, and even though you cannot see it, you believe that it can happen." Catholic theologian David Tracy wrote that this practice is, quote, "disciplined attention to what reality itself suggests is possible." People of faith develop and practice the skill of paying attention, not blind optimism or denial, but practices for sustaining vision during disappointment. The blogger Buchar wrote, "Hope requires training. Trust needs practice. The capacity to envision and organize toward futures you cannot see yet is a skill, not a personality quirk that some people are born with." In a rush away from the toxic history and theology of religious extremism, we have forgotten that it is in faith communities that we can develop the skill of holding all that is, and that our survival is dependent on developing that skill of being with what is and imagining something better. This idea and practice, they are not new. We've known it. We humans have known this for millennia. It's in the religious scriptures and texts of every faith tradition, and those texts are full of stories about holding a vision in a time of disappointment. And it was in our prayer from the first reading today. If you want heaven, this is what you have to work with, you who are a child of the Creator. God has given you all she has. Pay attention.
Our second reading is from Junot Diaz, an immigrant from the Dominican Republic and a Pulitzer Prize-winning author. I've always thought that you don't love a country by turning a blind eye to its crimes and to problems. The way that you love a country is by seeing everything it's done wrong, all of its mistakes, and still thinking that it is a beautiful and worthy country. In fact, looking at the darkest sides of the United States has only made me appreciate the things that we do right, the things that we do beautifully. We are, for all of our mistakes and all of our crimes, a remarkable place.
Part 2, called to pay attention. In her poem, The Summer Day, Mary Oliver wrote, "I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention." I wonder if paying attention is a secular term for the practice of prayer for those of us who are uncomfortable with religious language. Prayer is simply stretching from the reality of where we are to something that is bigger, a vision of what can be, something that is greater than ourselves. We are living in precarious times, risky, dangerous, uncertain times. The root of the word precarious is a request or prayer. And so the original meaning of the word precarious was depending on prayer. Precarious times call for prayer. They call for us to pay attention. Now, I know that paying attention to what is happening in our nation and the world right now is hard. It's hard and painful. And so I'm not saying that we should damage our bodies and our spirits by following the thousands of blogs and tweets and news sources that are out there. Those of us who can monitor and limit our exposure to the news, well, we are privileged. And that gives us the added responsibility to find reliable sources of information and stay as informed as we can and to combat the untruths that are being spread. Our privilege allows us to use our energy to hold a vision of what is possible and to work toward that vision. At this moment in history, it seems to me that finding ways to pay attention to pain and grief is fairly easy. It is out there, everywhere. We can see even more clearly where we as a country have made mistakes and we have not lived up to the ideal of who we could be. The harder part right now might be paying attention to gratitude and love. What would it be like to pay attention to the care that people are showing for each other right now? The care that many of you are showing for others, and to give a prayer of thanks for that care. What would it be like to pay attention to the trees budding and the bulbs that are coming up and the coming of spring at a time when we thought that the darkness would last forever? What would it be like to fall in love with our country all over again? With the radical ideas and ideals of a democracy, to see that this is still a remarkable place. Even in these times, what can you fall in love with again? To see what you might fall in love with, you might need to take a step back out of the fray and pay attention from a distance, just like the photo of Earth from space re-energized the environmental movement. Can we take a step back and imagine a future that we can work toward, an idea of a future that is as audacious as the idea of as sending a human to the moon? In these past 7 years of serving as your minister, I have reflected a lot on my role. It's a regular practice of mine. What does it mean to minister during a pandemic? What does it mean to minister during social, political, and environmental collapse? What does it mean to minister during a time of incredibly rapid change and uncertainty? And my best answer to those questions is that my role, our role as a people of faith, is to pay attention to what is not yet. Yes, we take care of the people and each other in this time of upheaval, and we pay attention to what is not yet, to hold a vision of what is possible, as impossible as it might seem right now. And then we work toward that vision. Paying attention to what is not yet is holding a vision of what is possible as we build a foundation so that it can become real. In 1854, Henry David Thoreau published in Walden this quote, "If you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where it should be. Now put the foundations under them." This month, I invite us to exercise our skill of paying attention, or prayer, or whatever it is that you name this turning toward what is and what can be. I'm going to invite us to say together a litany of commitment to attention. And a litany means that I'll speak and then we'll speak together. This is written by UU minister, the Reverend Leslie Takahashi, who offers appreciation to Timothy Snyder's book on tyranny. As fear abounds, may courage as well. In these times, we know we will need not to turn away or surrender in advance. In the coming years, when asked to turn away, to focus only on our own survival and disregard our neighbors, knowing the promise of plurality, we will pay attention. We honor democracy despite its unrealized ideals. We who value the give and take of shaping a future understand the importance of those groups and places that are essential to the democratic process. Honoring the many places that offer sanctuary, we will pay attention. Though attacks on truth may rain down upon us, we will not succumb. What we spread will continue to be rooted in fact and to protect the honest lessons of history. As a truth-loving people, we will pay attention. We understand that the best of what we experience was hard won by those who came before us. We will continue to honor our spiritual ancestors. We hold the special grief of those who never thought they would have to fight for their basic rights again. In the name of our ancestors, we will pay attention. We who have had years of thriving, who have enjoyed times of abundance, hear the cries of those generations who may never experience this. We will think about how we might have a bit less so that they might have a bit more. For the sake of the children, and all children are our children, we will pay attention. We who are struggling to comprehend all that is lost acknowledge the long struggle before us. We pledge to engage in joy and fun, care for ourselves and our beloveds, for undermining our own lives will not speed justice. For the sake of our own good bodies, hearts, and minds, we will pay attention. We will continue to hold the ideals of what our democracy might someday realize. When we are in a position to do so, we will defend others. When we are in need of defense, we will ask for assistance. In the spirit of interdependence, we will pay attention. In all of this, we remember that we do not do this alone. Together, we will pay attention. Dear ones, we are called to pay attention with all of our passion and all of our imperfection. We do not do this alone. We have each other and the love that holds us all and always. May our attention bring our dreams to reality. Let's hold a moment of silence together.
Rise and join us. We will close with the words and music of Vermont-based songwriter Heidi Wilson. This song was sung at the protests in Minneapolis in January. Hold on, my dear ones, here comes the dawn. Hold on, my dear ones, here comes the dawn. Again, hold on, my dear ones, here comes the dawn. Once more. My dear ones, hold on to each other. Hold on to beauty and to joy. Hold on to vision and commitment. Hold on to love.